So for the next 15 minutes, we'll be talking about Python and validating FHIR data. My name is Axel. I'm CTO at TerraHealth, and we are building smarter medical reports, so essentially enabling clinicians to make structured reports. We are 3 co-founders and have an awesome team of 8 people, of which Tom is also one of them. That's basically a screenshot of the application. And essentially what is interesting in terms of FHIR, we are using SDC FHIR questionnaires to feed this UI. And the backend is built in Python. So validation is quite important for us to be able that our FHIR REST API is like storing correct FHIR data. And that has been quite a journey for now, because okay, first of all, there will be quite some snippets of code, of Python code, and to make sure you can like do something with it afterwards, I've prepared a repo with all snippets. Just one snippet is one file to see like, you can watch those examples maybe after the talk if you need them. I was planning to document them, but I haven't been able to finish that. That's still a project. And a blog post version of this talk is also coming and included in the repo. Maybe last year you've seen this talk of Gino, or maybe you've seen it on YouTube, but I think it's quite an important talk and an important message he was telling there, and it is that like in this DevDays event, there are quite a lot of FHIR experts with very detailed knowledge of how FHIR works, how the validation works, and things like that. But in reality, like a lot of developers working with FHIR data are not so experienced, and often, and especially in Python, the tooling is lacking, and you have to know a lot of details of FHIR. You can like make a lot of mistakes when building the FHIR validators yourself. This good tooling is very important, and currently in Python, I think those are the top 3 packages which are being used. Maybe you can do a raise of hands. Is somebody using the client.py package? Right. And FHIR.resources, I guess this is also an important one. Okay. Maybe a less known package is FHIR types. Somebody using that one? We are using the last one internally. Basically, FHIR.resources and FHIR types both are based on Pydantic. The only difference is with FHIR types, you're generating the Pydantic models, so you can adapt them and modify them afterwards in your code base, which is kind of hard with FHIR.resources. But we've been using FHIR.resources quite a long time also. The only problem is, so it's quite easy to get started, to install it. It's complete, all the resources are there. But then when using it, we have quite some type checking errors. It's not working well with the type checker because they're doing some workarounds to get rid of the recursiveness of the models. And then also the IDE is not always picking up the suggestions again because of those workarounds. So there are a lot of like things missing. Also, it's hard to extend them because in reality, we are often working with specific IGs. So you need validation for specific profiles. But only the resources are there in the FHIR.resource package. So you want to extend them, but it's hard because of the way the models are constructed there. We end also up with a lot of boilerplate code. So this is a snapshot of some extension of a questionnaire item. This is quite involved already, but actually in reality, we only need that one field dropdown. So we end up often with quite a lot of boilerplate going through the extensions and then going to the codings and the codable concept to just find that one enum value for us internally. Components and observations, it's the same story. We find ourselves also often just iterating through the components and then find, okay, the right component to get the value. And there, I think, the libraries are lacking a bit in Python and also accessing that nested data. Primitives is also quite tricky. And inheriting the FHIR.resources doesn't work well neither because they are mutable. And to make inheritance work well with data models and data classes, you need to make them immutable and use sequences instead of lists. So that makes it very hard to like just inherit observation resource and make a blood pressure profile for it. So I've kind of documented a bit what is the state of the libraries for FHIR in terms of validation on the one hand and type safety on the other hand. I think both libraries are doing very well on just structural validation, which means just checking if the fields are there. But then when it goes to like checking if the primitive types are correct, FHIR.resources is doing quite well, but FHIR PyTypes only checks if it's the string over an integer, but in FHIR we go much deeper. It's like you have UIDs, you have URLs, and they all have regex expressions. And then, yeah, all the special validation like cardinality, terminology, the FHIR pot invariants, slices, I think is not there. In terms of type safety, FHIR.resources is a little harder, I feel, and primitives, slice accessors, it's not there like I've showed in the previous code examples. And so, yeah, in summary, the packages provide hard-coded models for resources, not profiles, and they lack advanced validations, accessors, and there is also no way to either extend them or build custom models in an easy way yourself for specific profiles. But I think there are solutions, and a good solution to build an SDK for an IG is built on a robust foundation. Like I think Pydantic is doing the job, is working quite well, but we will need code generation. We've seen that like in the Java and the .NET scene, there all SDKs start from a code generation step, and they're also working towards code generation for profiles. And then on top of that, good helpers utilities to validate and access your own extensions and your own slices and those kind of things. So yeah, Pydantic is doing the job, at least also for us. So it provides a data class with type annotations, serving both as like type checking and validation. It comes with a lot of validators included into the package, and you can add custom types. So there is a page on the Pydantic website where you can define custom types, and it's super handy when you're validating FHIR data. Then we need like a code generation step. We internally are still using FHIR PyTypes and adapting it, but FHIR schema is also very promising. FHIR PyTypes is starting from structure definition. And structure definitions is very hard to like process. You need to resolve dependencies and things like that. And FHIR schema is like promising a solution to that. It's like processing the structure definitions and providing you all the information you need to do like the code generation step. But it's still early, so I've talked to tomorrow the maintainer of it will Evgeny give a presentation on it. So if you're interested, I think it's a good place to be. And there is some small adaptation still needed, but I think we could like migrate to FHIR schema code gen to really support profile generation. The only downside is that it uses string templates for the code generation. And then the third layer, like the utilities, like the tricks to do like terminology validation, cardinality checks, etc. We don't need like static code generation for that because Pydantic delivers enough tricks to do like dynamic code generation through decorators, descriptors, data classes. I think meta classes is a bit esoteric and it's hard to use in a type-safe way. But we were quite successful, like just doing cardinality checks like this, importing the minlen from annotated types, and you can just do the cardinality checks in a type annotation. You can see it also leans itself very well for code generation in the future. The primitives are similar. You can just use type annotations with string constraints which validate regex patterns, min-max values. This thing we also code generate already from the FHIR schema. Bindings, the same thing. Important for terminology checks is that we've only been successful in validating like static terminology, like you have to store the value sets themselves as JSON files in your repo. It's not like dynamic to a terminology server, but that does the job, I think. And then FHIR constraints also works quite well by having a custom descriptor that accepts a FHIR expression and then uses FHIR to validate the Pydantic model. There's one important trick here, as you will see in the code examples in GitHub. You need to adapt the base model to be also a mapping, because FHIR accepts only dict-like structures. Slice accessors is a little trickier, but you can get there also with descriptors. So we are using like coding descriptors to easy access the SNOMED code directly, and the low encoder, you don't want to iterate those lists every time again. And we have like a separate open source project, FHIR Slicing, who does a lot of the slicing validation, but also the type safety of it. So if you're working with resources like tasks where you have just an array of inputs and outputs, you have like a lot of slicing in practice to go through the right input. And the same for observation components. You want to access them by name, like here. The library allows you to basically create a subclass of a list and create like named accessors to the systolic and the diastolic part. And the library also does a validation on the cardinality of your slice. So the result is basically that you can access the components and then use the name of the slice to get to the right part of the data. You can also like generate, maybe you know if you have extensions on primitives, they're using like the underscore field in JSON. Also a thing which you can like auto-code generate with using decorators in Python. Like the example is also in GitHub, but the result is basically you have a decorator on your resource class, and it provides you a field for the extensions and the ID of a primitive. Yeah, this is basically the short version of the implementation code, which is, I think, quite okay. Like in a nutshell, the tricks are there. There's a lot of like decorators, descriptors, things we can do to make it easy to make your custom models. The code generation is almost there. And I think we're finally there to make a toolkit to generate Python SDKs instead of being tied to a fixed static collection of models which are hard to extend and to adapt. So I guess someone has just to make the last puzzle piece and bring everything together. So I hope with some collaboration with the guys from FHIR Schema, from Health Samurai, we can like build further on that and have like a flexible toolkit for Python SDKs. Yeah, my details. You can connect with me also on FHIR Chat if you want to work further on this with a lot of other members of the Python community. And that's about it. We have time for Q&A still? Okay.
Any questions?
Hi, thanks very much, Axel. When you mentioned the FHIR path expressions, does that mean that like the generated SDK would be able to accommodate an invariant that's defined in the FHIR path? For example, in US Core, there's a rule written in FHIR path where you must provide either the first or last name of the patient.
Yeah. I guess I've included an example in the example code which validates that either contact information, address, or name is provided of a patient, which is like the base invariant in the spec. Exactly, those are the invariants that become possible.
Anyone else? Sure.
And what would you say is the biggest gap right now with the FHIR schema for toolgen?
So the FHIR schema has like two purposes. But the thing is that if you're building Python models using Pydantic, I guess we can't have like 100% exact validation like you have in the Java validator. And actually FHIR schema's purpose is doing that 100%. So they have a derivative project supporting code generators, and there, unfortunately, the regex information, the min-max values are not available yet in that CodeGen project. So we are not there yet to do the full Pydantic models with the annotations as I showed. They have a Pydantic implementation, but you are basically using just the Python primitives and not the advanced stuff. So they told me they will shortly add it to the project, and I guess it's not a lot of work to just add it with the right utilities.
Okay. Any other questions? Well, if you do, please reach out to Axel. And thank you.
Thanks.